Our next presenter, Ramtin, is energetic and enthusiastic. Did I mention he's energetic? He likes to play basketball and also building and learning to create e-commerce.
He already sounds way more productive than me. So let's give it up for Ramtin with crafting time.
So, how do we craft our time? How do we manage our time? How do we spend our time? Do we spend it wisely or do we waste it? What do you see time? You can't really see time. It's like a particle. You can't really see it, but it's there. And once you realize it's there, you got to realize its value. You never understand its value until you get materialistic things like houses, gold, money, cars. Now, I know some of you have been leaning forward when I said these things. We all want these things, but we got to work for it. And sometimes we don't even see time as this valuable, but we got to put in the time to get these things. We have day and night. At nighttime, we sleep mainly 8 hours, and 8 hours is a lot of time. We still have 16 hours to work with, so there's no excuses of, oh, I don't have time to do this or time to do that. Everyone in the world has the same time. So I didn't used to manage my time properly back in grade 7. I used to always play games. And when it came, I used to always do bam, bam, bam. Shooting games is what I liked. I really enjoyed it. I don't know why. I guess a lot of kids stuff enjoy like video games, but it was addicting. I started to not socialize with anyone. Now my family didn't care. Now my friends didn't care. Schoolmates didn't care. It was only about video games. This thing that didn't even exist valued more than my family, friends, and people around me. It started to take a toll on my grade. My grades were lowering. I didn't spend my time wisely in class. I thought of class time as a time to sleep. Class time is not a time to sleep or get distracted. Class time is time to learn. Learn about how we could improve ourselves, better ourselves, make a better future, or what career we want to do in our future. And when I was at school, I usually, at the end of the day, when the clock was ticking, I usually waited. Tick, tick, tick. I was thinking to myself, I was 1 second closer to getting home, to playing with my Xbox. And as soon as that clock ticked, to the time it came, I ran as fast as I could just to get home to my Xbox and hear the noise, ding, just when it turns on. And I was the worst in my gym class at running and doing exercises. But when it came after school, I bet you I was faster than everyone in my school because I cared about my Xbox. I was usually that 9-year-old kid, always shouting at the screen, being like, no, you gotta go get this, capture the flag, kill this guy, we're gonna lose. I didn't care. I didn't care about anything else except getting the flag, getting the victory, and nothing else was important to me. Like, this gaming thing was taking over my life. And no one likes a tantrum little 9-year-old doing that. So, always on my school, I always procrastinated. I never studied for my exams. I never did my math homework. I didn't really care about learning what integers is or a negative and a negative equals a positive. Never really cared about that. I never did. And as soon as I realized that I was taking a really, really bad marks on my quizzes and my exams, and I was like, what is happening? This has never happened to me before. I was like, well, it's probably because I'm not spending a lot of time on how to do my homework and stuff. And the funny thing is, I actually wanted to be an astronaut. But how? How can I be an astronaut? Me, the one who's getting really bad marks in math and science? They say dream big and reach for the stars, but I was only dreaming big and never reached for the stars. That's the difference. Everyone has a good idea, but the people who execute that idea is the people who are on top. Doing homework for me was like, I don't know, it was just not a big deal for me. Like, I didn't really care about my future or career. I thought I would always be locked up in my parents' basement, playing on my games, relaxing on my couch, eating Doritos chips. That's all it really mattered. And I wasn't getting that much physical physical activity. As soon as I realized, I went and played basketball, soccer, ping pong. I started seeing that, wow, I really enjoy these sports, even though I sucked at them. Like, I sucked at playing with basketball, soccer, and ping pong, and no one wanted me on their team. I was always the bench warmer. Whenever I shot the basketball, I always hit the rim, always went out. No one wanted me on their team. They're like, no, you can't be on our team. You're gonna make us lose. What are you doing? We're not even gonna pass you. You can't even dribble the ball. So I practiced to get it in the swishes and the nice fadeaways and stuff. And as soon as I done that, I realized how beautiful and this world is and how we could socialize with everyone. And as soon as I realized that, I gave up my addiction. I was socializing with people. And when you go outside and breathe in that nice fresh air, it's like, wow, we have a really, really beautiful earth. And we should be happy about this and not destroy it. And my grades were improving as I was getting physical activity. I was balancing my life with games and doing my homework, physical activity. You gotta balance your life. That's what time is. Planning your time, then executing and balancing your life. Now, we in Canada, we're lucky. We have free speech, free healthcare, free education. Not many countries have this. Take advantage of these rights. Take advantage, because who has this in this world? And we got to understand that we got to do it now and not always procrastinate and do it later. There's always time for later, time for this, time for that. Oh, I don't have time to go to your Pecha Kucha. Oh, I don't have time to, yeah, I'm kind of upset about it. You obviously have time. You have 18 hours in a day. How can you not show up to my Pecha Kucha? But it's okay, whatever. It's like, just do it now rather than later. And it's like, we gotta always come back to this thing that we can't see. But it's like the mindset you gotta have of making your time, planning it, and executing it the way you want it. If you're not happy with your life, no one's stopping you. Who's stopping you? You tell me. Just yourself. And once you realize that, you realize how important time is, and you put work into your time, you realize that you'll have a better future. And they said I couldn't drop the mic, so I'll just fake drop the mic.